girls, let's do chapter 17.5, sketching parabolas of the form y equals ax squared plus c. So, again, we start with our basic parabola. I'm not going to spend time on this one because I have spoken about this one in previous videos. So, transformations. So this time we're going to be talking about translation, okay? So we are focusing now on this parameter on C. We have spoken about A, and that was done in previous video. Now we're going to be talking about C. So we're going to see first what happens when C is greater than 0. So let's go here. Okay, so I have there my first parabola, the basic one in black, x squared, and then I have another one in blue, that is x squared plus c, and I have here my slider. So we're going to see what happens when c is greater than 0. So I have it here in 0, and we're going to see what happens as I increase c. You can see that the turning point is going upwards. In fact, my whole graph is going upwards. It's being translated upwards. It's like the whole graph is being moved upwards. Let's continue. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, you can see that it's going up until it disappears because I don't have it more. I have it up to 6, but there you go. The same graph, it's being translated upwards, okay? So I want to stop here and show you something. If I have translated it there to, let's go to 3, doesn't matter. What is changing? So my turning point, my vertex has changed. The coordinates of my vertex have changed. Like before it was 0, 0. Now it's going to be 0, 3. Okay. Now, what about this new parabola that I have here, blue? Does it have x-intercepts? Is touching x at any point? No, it's not. So this is an example. I remember that in one of the first videos I said that there are some parabolas that may not have an x-intercept. So this is an example. Here we don't have an x-intercept. So the turning point has changed, the x-intercept has changed, and the y-intercept has changed. So let's go into our presentation and see what changes. So exactly, the parabola translates vertically upwards, and which means that the x and the y-intercept have changed, okay? What hasn't changed? The axis of symmetry hasn't changed. Oh, mistake here, I have to cross this one. The turning point, of course, it has changed. The x-intercept has changed and the y-intercept has changed. But in this case, the parabola remains upright because I'm not talking about the A at the moment. I'm focusing on the C, okay? Remember that the A is the one that is going to define if the parabola remains upright or not. Okay, now let's look about now what happens when c is less than 0. So, no, sorry, here first. Okay, so let's go back here and we're going to see what happens when c is less than 0. So we're going to go and we can see that now the parabola is being translated downwards. Okay, and you can see there. Fantastic, so in the same graph. Now, what happens here in this case? So remember that when I have it in 0, it was barely touching the x-intercept. When as soon as I move it downwards, what happened? Look, now it does cross the x-intercept and the x axis, and it does, in fact, it crosses twice, here and here. So the x-intercepts are changing, the y-intercept is changing, the turning point is changing. Okay, so let's look up here. What happens when c is less than 0? It translates vertically downwards. Now it's going downwards. So the x-intercept is changing and the y-intercept is changing. What is not changing? Again, this is wrong. And you should include here that the turning point is changing, okay? I'm not going to write it down, but you write it here, that the turning point is changing. So what doesn't change? The axis of symmetry is not changing. And in this case, the parabola remains upright because I'm not changing the A. Wonderful. I just wanted to do another example and show you, in this case, what do I have here? So I have my inverted parabola, so minus x squared, okay? And I want to show you what happens if c increases. What do you think is going to happen? Is it going to go upwards or downwards? So as c increases, it goes upwards. So always the c is not affected by by this negative that is happening to the x, okay? This c is a constant that is not being affected by the pronumeral. So this c, as you can see, when it's positive, it's going to move upwards, and when it's negative, it's going to move downwards. Fantastic, girls, well done.